So in today's video, I'm going to cover with you what you will say to the seller when they first call you back responding to your outreach. So in the first call, your job really is to build up a rapport. So I'd firstly start by thanking them. So thank you for responding to my email, letter, or whatever, however you contacted them. The reason I wanted to speak to you is that I'm an investor and I'm looking to acquire a company in your industry. I'm part of Opulentia Capital, or a global mergers and acquisitions firm. We've completed over 100 transactions since our inception back in 2010. I'm interested to know if you're looking at exploring an exit and sale from your business at the current time, and then they're hopefully going to tell you then that they are looking for an exit. I then dive straight in to say, perhaps you could give me a bit of a background to the business. So once I've done that, thank you for sharing that information. Let me tell you a little bit more about us, the type of buyer we are, and how we might structure a deal. Then, if you feel positive about what we can work out the next steps. So the first thing for me to say is that the reason we want to buy a long-established, profitable company in your industry is that we would like to use it as an anchor to grow, principally through acquisition. So ideally, we want to make tactical, strategic acquisitions in this industry to form a larger group. And when you start putting companies together, you can drive a whole host of benefits, whether it be economies of scale, buying power, etc. So you want to dive into lots of open questions, and you want them really talking more than you. So here's some examples of open questions. We've already asked them for a background on the business. Can I ask, are you in a process to sell the business currently? Have you engaged anyone to assist you in that process? Or is this one of the first conversations that you've had? And really what you're trying to do here is ascertain whether they've had an advisor or they've got an expectation of the process, or whether this is all new to them and you might need to educate them on how process is going to be moving forward. If they have done something about it, then I'd be asking them questions like, have they received much interest, any offers? Why didn't they accept those offers? What feedback have they had? How long have they been in the process? And that's just for you to understand whether they're frustrated in the process, whether it's early on, whether they've got multiple interest, etc. I'd also ask them about succession planning. So when you sell the business, is there somebody already in situ that can take over from you, or do you think a new owner would need to take your place or recruit someone? Have you thought about how long you might be prepared to be in a handover? And again, we would use this now to set expectations. So normally we would say, we ask a business owner to do a 6 to 12 month handover first, so that we can learn the business from them. We can spend time building relationships then with staff, customers and suppliers. So initially this could be full-time, but as time ticks on, the reliance on them becomes less and less. So usually in a 7 to 12 month period, the handover is done. And as time ticks on, the reliance on them is less and less. So probably by the end of the 12 months, they're only popping in to the office once a week, and they're completely removed operationally from the company. Aside from, I'd ask them then about the what's important to them. So aside from the financial components of the deal, is there anything else that's important to them in a deal? And really what you're getting from them here is, what's it going to take to do a deal? Put the money to one side, but they're probably going to talk to you here about, they're going to want to know what you're going to do with the business. Are you going to fire the staff? Are you going to change the name? Are you going to change stuff? And really you want to position yourself as, the reason you're buying a profitable, well-run company is, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So no, we're not going to fire the staff. If anything, we're going to grow the business, so probably hire more people. And we're not going to change much. We're just going to bring tools and resources to the table to, build upon what they've created. I'd ask them, have they given thought to what they might want to sell a company for? They might not tell you a specific number, but if you don't ask, you don't get. What timescale have you got in mind to sell the business? And you can educate them that, you're looking to make a decision quite quickly. And whilst you appreciate that it's going to be a big decision for them and they're not going to enter into it lightly, you are a serious buyer. And if something was agreed, you'd want to work through getting it completed within a few months from offer acceptance to completion. So I'd be explaining, at various intervals in that questioning, we see ourselves more as a facilitator than an operator, in that we bring the tools, resources, and most importantly, the capital to the table to enable a business to grow, working with the existing management team to grow the company. It's not about changing things or trying to reinvent the wheel. We won't be changing the name, we won't be firing the staff. Quite opposite, we're looking to hire more people as we grow. It's about building on what's already well run, profitable and established, and taking it to the next level. So let me tell you a little bit about how we structure deals. There are many different ways to value a business, but I found in my experience it really boils down to what you as a willing seller will sell for, and us as a willing buyer prepared to buy for, and whether they're aligned. And generally we tend to look at the profitability of the business, and whether that's been consistent, we then either sort of take an average of that, or we use the most recent financials, and we then look at the balance sheet, so what assets and liabilities we would acquire on closing, and then we add these together, and that gives us then a rough idea as to what we're going to pay for the business. We don't pay all of the purchase price at closing. We pay a meaningful sum, but there will always be a degree of some stage payments, and the main reason for this is that there is always a risk when there's a change of ownership that customers may go elsewhere, suppliers may get jittery, key staff could leave. We ask that you're involved in the handover of the business so we can protect this goodwill. First part is to understand how you run the business. The second part is for you to hand over those relationships with staff, customers and suppliers. That's done gradually, so it's all done orderly and efficiently. So whilst you might not need an incentive, if you've got a vested interest in that you've not received all of your money at closing and some of it will be paid into the near future or conditional on certain things, then you're more likely to stick around and help us work through that handover effectively. There are other reasons too, but we won't get into that in today's conversation. So you're just explaining how you might value the company, and that you're not going to pay all of the money, and there's going to be a degree of seller financing or possibly an earn-out structure that's involved. So you're setting the expectations. So as conversations progress, they won't be surprised when you come up with the valuation, because you've told them how you do it. They won't be surprised that you're not paying all of the money at closing, and there's going to be some seller financing. Your job now is to basically just close on the next steps, which the next steps, Mr. Business Owner, if you're interested to progress, will be for us to put in place a non-disclosure agreement, confidentiality agreement. This enables us to share information between us. Once that's in place, we can arrange a more detailed discussion. Shall we organise an NDA after this call? I can have it emailed to you, or if you have your own version that you prefer to use, we're happy either way. And then you just sort of pin them down that if you're going to send them an NDA, will they sign it today, tomorrow? And then can we schedule a further call for, within the next week once that NDA is in place. So if you're interested to know more, you can visit leveragedbuyouts.net. My name is Paul Seabridge. I'm a global entrepreneur, best-selling author and founder of a leading mergers and acquisitions firm. In my career spanning 2 decades, I've completed over 100 mergers and acquisitions spanning 32 industries across 12 different countries. In my book, Leverage Buyouts, I share with you how you can use the leverage buyout structure to acquire a multi-million-pound company. It covers how to source deals directly to business owners, what to say in first and subsequent meetings. We've learned about that first meeting today, how to handle objections, how to analyse the financial statements to craft a deal and how to present it to them, the whole process from start to finish, including how to raise funding. You can get a copy of the book in ebook, paperback or Audible format, depending on your preference. And I also run regular webinars to share this content. www.leveragedbuyouts.net.